Hey everyone, how's it going? Elliot here again. In today's video, we're going to be having a look at the Vibrating Game Boy Pulse Pack. Here it is, right here. Now this is going to be a very odd video. If I just zoom the camera in, the first thing I read when I saw this was adjustable vibration sensation. So, I mean, immediately when you read that out, you're not really associating it with a Game Boy accessory. So potentially this is going to be really good, or it's going to be absolutely cringeworthy, horrendous. I found this when I was with my friends Bill and Mark in London, and when I arrived in France, I completely forgot that I didn't bring a Game Boy with me or any games. So I found some of these games as I've kind of gone along exploring. Some of them are a bit random, some of them are quite fun. But it'll also mean that I can try the vibrating pack with different genres and see if it's, if it's better, if it's worse, what kind of things it works with really, really well. And then I picked up this Game Boy for €10. I just went on eBay France and selected newly listed and then ordered it to the house I'm staying at in France, and it arrived. There's not really anything else interesting on the box. It says simply attaches to console, no setup time, lightweight construction. And on the back it shows you how to put the batteries in and turn it on. And what's down at the bottom here? Oh, a load of trademark stuff. So it's not endorsed by Nintendo, which is probably because it's just a load of, well, let's not judge it before we open it. So the box is quite squished up, but that's fine. It has actually got the Game Boy Pocket logo on here, which is pretty risky. It does look kind of like a Nintendo thing with the the silver strip going down the side. There's nothing else in the box, no manuals. I paid £5 for this, which is probably not a great price, but again, thought it'd make a good video. The actual unit itself is in really, really nice condition. I'm quite concerned of how ridiculous that looks, but let's go ahead and load it up with some AAA batteries. Oh, is it AAA? Yeah, it is. Good, good. Okay, one of the things I want to talk about as well is my presumption of how this thing is going to work. So immediately I can see a 3.5mm headphone jack. Obviously this is not going to be transmitting data specifically so that when I get hit in the game it's going to vibrate. It's basically going to be doing it off of sounds. So there's going to be kind of like a subwoofer thing in here and it will vibrate. Got an LED, we've got a pass-through for the headphone jack, which is obviously convenient because when we plug this in, obviously it's going to use the headphone jack. Another thing as well is it must have, I assume, a pass-through speaker. As well as the vibrate motor, it must have a pass-through speaker because obviously when you plug the headphones into here, it shuts off the speaker. So that's one of the things I'm going to presume as well. It doesn't take any, oh my god. Just kind of noticing how ridiculous thing looks. Oh, I'm not even going to be able to get it into the whole shot. That's a bit awkward. I've only got a small tripod with me. Looks pretty standard. Other than that, it's maybe would look alright with a grey Game Boy Pocket, but I don't think they made them. Kind of matches the button design, actually, the button colour. So that's not bad. Doesn't feel low quality. It actually feels the same quality plastic as the Game Boy Pocket itself. So it looks like there's a on-off switch at the bottom. Oh my god, it's just vibrated. Jesus, that was not subtle. I'm quite excited about this. And then we've got a vibration sensor. So that's where it said on the box, adjustable vibration sensation. So that is going to be an interesting feature. So let's go ahead and load up a game. I'm going to use my favourite game so far that I've found in France, which is this one here, Solar Striker. Never heard of it before, but it's basically like a Space Invaders type deal. Okay, so it vibrates instantly. Oh my god, it's just... it's just going to vibrate at will. So it's not vibrating at the lower frequency, so maybe it has like some sort of a frequency. Oh, hang on. Let's maybe turn up the... there we go. Okay, so now it's just vibrating off of the music. So if I just turn that down... no, that's up. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, oh my lord. Okay, right, so if I turn that down, potentially when I shoot... no, it's still going off the music. No. Oh my lord, it's so sensitive. More sensitive than my stepmom. I've been fiddling with this thing for 10 minutes and I just can't get it to be at a sweet spot. It's just going off of the music. And there's nothing I can do about it. So this game in particular is just really not working. But let's maybe try one that has a more subtle soundtrack to it. This game, I had no idea what this was. When I bought this Game Boy, I didn't have any of these other games, and I thought I needed to try and get a game so that I can show this working. But I picked this up, never heard of it before, still not sure what the name of it is because the label's quite ripped up, but it actually is quite a cool looking game. So it's called Fortress of Fear, or is that? Yeah, Fortress of Fear. Sorry about the reflections, I'll just zoom in slightly here. So it's still going off of the music. There you go, I've turned it down a bit now. Fantastic artwork on this, really looks great. Sorry about the scratches on the screen. So what we want, oh, there we go. That actually kind of works. Kind of works. It doesn't really add like an incredible experience to the game. Oh, it's really quite a random thing, really, isn't it? I thought I'd finish off this video in this lovely old French house and give you my final thoughts on this Pulse Pack, Vibrating Pulse Pack. That's literally what it's called. So I'm going to be honest, my hopes weren't very high going into this thing, especially because the whole mechanism that this works is just by passing through the audio and then basically just joining it to a motor. I'm not really sure exactly the technicalities of it. I did open it up. It's very basic inside. It's exactly what you'd expect. There's an amp, obviously, because it, as I mentioned earlier, because it utilises that headphone port, it does cut off the speaker that's actually inbuilt into the Game Boy, which is expected. So it has got its own amp. It's got a headphone out, so it has all the relevant pieces of technology for that. And the motor is very, very basic and very, very old, which is probably one of the reasons why the motor was so strong. Obviously, maybe back when this was made in the late 90s, 1998, it was probably more expensive to buy these smaller motors, even though that would have been a more subtle and definite vibration, as opposed to like sporadic, really heavy vibrations. I fiddled around with loads of different games and fiddled around with the vibration sensor for adjustable vibration sensation, that's what it's called. And I just couldn't find this is going to sound really innuendo, I couldn't find a sweet spot. Honestly, it was either really, really powerful or barely noticeable. Well, actually, the sound in the game just wasn't loud enough to trigger it because the sensor was so low. But it was still an interesting piece. I really think it's probably one of the worst accessories ever for the Game Boy Pocket, especially because it just adds so much bulk. And the whole point of the Game Boy Pocket is that it was portable. Remove that and you've got this nice little device without an annoying motor vibrating in your hands. So I'm not really sure what market they were going for in this. I have seen a couple of things like this before, but I just think it's really, really useless. It doesn't add any value to the game. It's not like Zelda Ocarina of Time when you plug that into the N64 controller, and whereas the information actually connects to the controller. So when he tumbles and bashes into a wall, it vibrates, and when he swings with his sword, it vibrates. This is literally just a disaster. So in summary, I really wouldn't recommend picking up one of these. It was £5 and I'm buying it so that you don't have to. And then if you're watching this video debating on buying one of these, which is probably quite a slim chance, I wouldn't recommend it unless you go to a shop in London and everything else is extremely expensive and the only thing you can find to make a video on is £4.99 and an absolute pile of. Thank you very much for watching this video. I do apologise for everything not being, as you're used to seeing it. I'm just away on holiday, but I really wanted to make content for you guys. I'm just addicted to making videos. I need help. Thank you for watching this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.